Hello and welcome to week 3. Today I woke up with particularly loafy hair, so I figured, seeing as I'm putting my face out there, I might as well put my ridiculous morning hair out there too. Anyhow, this week we are going to go through a lot of slides, a lot of the stereoscopic ones, these ones. In case you were wondering what they actually look like, they're impossible to scan because there's a pretty hard curve on them. And yes, this is definitely cool and definitely where I would say 3D imagery was in its infancy, but it's really not where my heart is. My heart is definitely in with the color stuff. So this week we're going to blast through the last of my black and white stereo cards, as old as 1890 and as recent as World War I. So a big span of time just to kind of illustrate how things evolve and improve. But we'll be leaving them behind this week, so that's very, very exciting. Also, you will hear some nice tunes, some low ambient noise in the background, and so we're adding music, as well as my ridiculous narrative, and that would be courtesy of James Birkbeck, who's a very, very talented person in my life. So, we'll also keep it short per card, because we have a ton. These are the ones we're looking at today. All right, let's go then.
And while your eyes adjust, I will point out that we're actually going to see 3 slides from World War II, so even later than I'd figured out in the first place. And of course, the car is the tip-off. I'm not a historian, so I couldn't tell right by uniforms or whatever. But this is Admiralty Arch, showing blockhouses and barbed wire defenses of London, and I can't blame them. After discovering that these were from World War II, I did just a quick Google to see what was the story, and there were some high explosive bombs dropped, of course, on London. I mean, we know this, the Blitz, but when you see it like this, it's quite a different thing. Here you see them being prepared for bombing, a lone figure in the hall. The next one, actually, I think is just devastatingly beautiful. It's the Stationer's Hall, with the big bomb hole in the roof. The walls of Stationer's Hall still support a bomb-wrecked roof. London. Oh, there you go. Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous, contrasty, shadowy. It's a lovely picture, and as is this, completely a world away. 1903, looking through the cantilever bridge spanning Niagara Gorge. Perfect example of what stereoscopic photography is supposed to do. Tons of distance, absolutely stunningly beautiful, completely transportative. You're there as you are here, which is Cheapside. Years and years and years before World War II, well before cars. You don't see a single automobile on the road, but you do see tons of people living their lives, going home, having a potato sandwich, going to bed on straw. That was living the life back then. So was this. This is a steamer ship with people on it on a beautiful day on Katrine's bosom. Katrine's bosom. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to be said, but it's apparently the fairest of Scotland's lakes, and I would agree. This is the Paris Exposition of 1900. What a fantastic subject for this type of photography as well. This is the scenes in the Swiss village, so it's like a reconstructed village. You can see obviously the Ferris wheel in the back makes a very surreal kind of photograph. And then you had these lovely studio things, and this is about as charming as it gets. A young girl happily shaving a laughing man, and she is wearing fantastic socks. And this came out of James M. Davis's studios. There's a few of these that I have. You'll see they reuse props all the time, including their actors. And you can see this is this is one of 2 scenes of girls, I guess, chasing mice under their bed. I think the studio head had a thing for this, because this is dated 1899. You can see the way the room is set up is slightly different to this shot of them doing the same thing with the same socks, but the room is rearranged and it's 2 years earlier. So there was demand for this series of girls looking for mice. But there was some weird demand for other things, like regular life. This one is titled Mr. Jones, Remove Your Hat. And he is staring lovingly at a lamp. I think he's about to blow it out or fillet it. And the wife also speaks Spanish, apparently, because on this slide it says, Quítate el sombrero, hombre. And this one is a politician who, after the election, it says, is staring in awe at something in his chamber pot. Or he may also be about to throw up, which I think is the intended message. Your wife will be very mad at you if you throw up in there. This one's curious. It's Mr. Pickwick in the wrong room. Now that's a 14-year-old, I think, with pubic hair, beard attached to his face, trying to look drunk, scaring these girls. He just looks kind of feeble. I'm not too worried about them. These next ones, the last two, are in a category called spousal confrontations. This is a girl taking what looks like a hot mustard poultice off a guy's back. The title says Murderation, Molly Be Azy, which is, obviously the meaning is obvious, but the words are foreign. And this one is about as weird as it gets, and probably my favorite. Quite damaged as well, very old. The title is Begorra Bridget, Let's Arbitrate, which you can only presume means let's be reasonable. She's going at him with a rolling pin. I think their eyes are actually painted on the outside of their eyelids, maybe? There is a really weird texture to this one, particularly when you see it under magnification. It's creepy and bizarre. And that is how we're going to leave our stereoscopic black and white pictures. I'll see you next week.